Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and today we're going to be making a card from Snowman Season. So here's Snowman Season, and it's got a lot of fun stuff to it. I love using the snow. I use that on a few cards, and I love this little doohickey guy there. And of course, the typical Merry Christmas, you got to have one of those. And of course, we're going to be using a punch instead of a die cut. So there's no die cutting in this one, which is kind of nice and a little speedy. So we got the outside here and the inside here, and we're going to do the inside first. So what I've got here is real red, and real red I have cut 5 1/4 by 4, and then this is Whisper White, and I cut this and 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to stamp the inside here. I just turned on my thing. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus. And the Stamparatus is great because if you're doing an assembly line of Christmas cards, because a lot of time when you make Christmas cards, it's better to just make one card a bunch of times. And if you got an assembly line, this just makes it easy because you can line up all your stamps on these plates. So I've got 2 on this one and I got 2 on this one. And for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to remove them once and put them back on rather than putting one here and here. It just gets a little cumbersome. So I'm going to use the sentiment side here first. I'm going to put it on here. Now I'm going to line up my board. Now I've already made a bunch of these cards, so I know where to mark my washi tape where I need to put a card. So I'm going to put one on the top and the bottom, a magnet there, so I can get a really nice hold to it. And then we're going to take the real red and carefully open the box. And make sure you try not to get any ink on your hands, which is like almost impossible. As you can see, I'm wearing a little bit myself. So just try to keep your hands as clean as possible. Even I would wash your hands in between just to make sure. So here I've inked up my sentiment here. And that actually looks pretty good, but guess what? I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do that and stamp it like that. So it looks great, actually. And then always, 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 always close your ink box. Because if you just, all put it to the side, you're going to lay something on it and it's going to be the front of your card. That's just Murphy's Law. So I've stamped the inside here. And then we're going to take our Stamparatus and put it to the side. And then I'm going to grab some just scratch paper. And I'm going to stamp all the little snowflakes. So I'm going to take Balmy Blue. And once again, open it real carefully. Put your paper over some scratch because what you're going to do, you're going to go tap, 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 tap. Really light, right? And you want to have it go off the page. So one here, and just, put them wherever you want. Make sure that you're only tapping lightly and that you're not rocking because you'll get that little outline of mess. So I'm just going to do a bunch of these just wherever I want. And have it go off the side. And maybe one here and here and here. All right, so I'm done with that. And once again, I'm going to take this and I'm going to close it up and make sure I hear that click so it's on all the way. And get your little stampy thing because it's wet and put it to the side over there. So when I take the scratch paper off, it looks real nice. So like that. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to affix it to my red. Right there in the middle. And then I'm going to take my Balmy Blue. So it's going to be 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Balmy Blue, of course, scored. And I'm going to take that. Line it up. And put it in the middle. So if I was doing a whole bunch of cards, I would just do this for like a bunch and then move on to the next. So that's the inside of my card. Now the outside of my card. So on the outside of my card, I've got the real red again, and this is a 5 1/4 by 4. And then the Whisper White, or actually this isn't Whisper White. This is shimmer white. And the reason why I'm using shimmer white is because it's supposed to be snow. So at the inside, I didn't use the shimmer white because it's kind of a waste of money for paper. But on the outside, I did. So this Whisper White is going to be a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So what I need to do first is I need to stamp again. So what I'm going to do is take my stamp apparatus here, and I'd already had these lined up. And I'm going to put my paper on. And the Merry Christmas is on the top here, or the snowmen are right here. So I'm going to put these on the very top. Okay, and then I'm going to take Memento, and which is black. I'm going to stamp these up really good. So I'm going to do 2 stamps at once. So I lined up these two guys here on the bottom on one plate, and then put that lid on. Give it a good push. And I'm going to do it again just to get it a little darker. It looks pretty decent, but I would like it a little darker. Put that lid on. Stamp it up. And that looks perfect. So we're done with that. And now I'm going to take this off and get my other plate. And I have Merry Christmas put on this plate. And I've already, like I said, I already made a bunch of these cards. So they're all lined up. And I'm going to move my magnets because that's going to go on the top. And I'm going to take my real red again. Open it carefully. Tap, 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 tap. And Merry Christmas. And hey, I want it just a little darker. So put a little darker. Boom, boom, boom. And that's perfect. So take a look at that. That looks great. So before I move on, I'm going to take this red, the evil ink, and I'm going to close it up because I will put something on it. So there's that. So we're going to take that and put it to the side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to build the 3-dimensional snowman here that we've done with the punch. There's no die cutting in here. It's just the snowman punch. And what's the best way to do a punch like this where there's many pieces? I mean, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you do is you need to make a template. So you just take a piece of scratch paper and punch it. And this is what its template looks like. So when you go to ink it, what you're going to do is you're going to lay your paper down and you're going to lay your template down. And you're going to take the stamps that I've already lined up here on the plate, and you're going to put them in the holes. And you can kind of feel around when they're in the holes. So we're going to use the body, the hat, and the arms. So just kind of put them in there and feel for the holes, and then close the plate and bring it back up. And then you're done with the template. And then when you go to ink, you are all set to go for to line up and cut in the punch. So we're going to do the inking, and there's one thing that you have to make sure you do. And I've only taken this part of the video a couple of times, and I had to edit it. And that is, we're going to create the, oh no, Mr. Bill look on this dude right here, because in my opinion, I know it's not very Christmassy, but he's being ripped apart. Let's face it. So what I'm going to do on the plate here is I'm going to remove 2 of those circles from his mouth. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. It's kind of a pain, but that's okay. I'm going to take that off real good. Make sure there isn't any more on there. Put that back in. Stamp it. And he's been removed. So I'm gonna do that again. In fact, I'm even gonna get my Q-tip a little bit more wet. Use my little spongy tear. So I'm gonna do that again. I'm going to slowly remove the 2 little dots. Leave the little dot in the middle because we're gonna make that one bigger. You just want that one in the middle just to know where to make the rest of his face. Punch that really good, and that looks great. So that's a little trick. So don't forget to remove the 2 dots from his face because we need to do the oh no, Mr. Bill kind of thing here. And if you know what that means, then you're old like me. Anyway, so I've got him there. And then I'm going to punch him. Now, when I made my template, I don't know if you noticed, I had a little sticky note on here that says top. Okay, because if I would have used it and put it on my paper the other way, it wouldn't have lined up with the back of my stamp. So when you do that, label yours the right way that it goes. Otherwise, you're going to be stamping it again. So I'm going to take this, and then you put the punch in here. Also, a sticky note will help you line it up. And I've got a little bit too much on the top, so I'm going to go over and take some off. Just tip up a little piece on the bottom. Now, when you line it up, you can halfway close it to kind of give it a little way to move, and then just kind of manipulate it where you want it. And because you lined it up with that template, everything's where it should be, but you still have to line it up. Oh, I'm going to go with right there. Okay, and I turned it over just to make sure everything didn't fly in 7 different directions. So I'm done with that. I'm done with the punch. Put it to the side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my dark Stampin' Up! Blending marker here on the skinny end, and I'm going to make that an, oh no, right like that. And then I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie on the skinny end, and I'm going to fill in his nose. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take light seaside spray. This makes the effect of snow, and I'm going to take the paint end, and I'm going to give him a little shadow. If you can tell on the snowman, they have a little bit of blue on their shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shadow him up. So he's all shadowed up. And now the best the best part is I'm going to cut off his head. So this little guy, he's going to die. So this is awful. Merry Christmas. I'm going to whack off his head here real close. Try to get some of the black line on the head part. And just kind of decapitate him. And then just kind of clean it up. You know, round out the sides. Make it look a little nicer. I'm going to cut off the little edges here. Maybe take off a little bit of white without making it look pointy. And like that. Just do a little bit. Like that and like that. There you go. So I've already whacked off his head, and we're going to put decapitated snowman over here. And then what I like to do is I would like to color up his the hat and his arms. Now his hat, I'm going to go ahead and grab a scratch paper, and I've got dark real red, and I'm going to do part of the hat band here and the little berries. Okay, and put that down. I'm going to take this is Call Me Clover. This is the dark Call Me Clover, and do the rest of the hat band and the leaves. Okay, and then I'm going to take the dark smoky slate on the skinny side, and I'm just going to do the hat. Now I did try the hat in black, and I did the light the light slate, and I didn't like them as much. So the dark slate is definitely the way to go. I did it with black, and it just looked like a blob. So this gets a little definition against the outline there. And that looks good. And then his little arms that we punched out, these little tiny little arms, they got the white outline on the side. I like them colored in completely. So what I did is I just laid those down, took my black and colored in the arms, but I pre-did that for you. So here's his 2 little black arms. Put that to the side. And now I want to color in the rest of the snowman. So the decapitated snowman. So I'm going to take his little body here, and I'm going to get some dimensionals, and I'm going to be using a couple of different ones here. I'm going to go ahead and I stamped on the back of this, so I was just conserving paper. So I'm going to take a 2 big ones and put it on the body. And I'm going to put him about, I'll try to do this upside down, about here, okay? And then I'm going to take his head, and I'm going to get one of the smaller, the mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put a mini dimensional on the back of his head. The big ones are just a little big. So take that off, and I'm going to put his head in this snow dude's hand, because he's not nice. Oh, he's over here. You know, Mr. Bill. All right, and then he's over there. And then you've got his 2 arms, because they got a fling. So I'm going to take the mini black dimensionals. These are in the seasonal catalog, in the holiday catalog. And I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut that little puppy in half. Okay. And on the back of one of the arms, put it right on the hand part. And I'm going to stick it under the body and up like that. And here's the other side. And these things are really small. I'm going to put it on the back. So if a little shows, it's not too bad. And put it under the snow dude like that. Okay. And then the hat, I will take a large dimensional and put it on there. And he's got his hat because, he's part of this game here, which isn't very nice. Poor Mr. Snow Dude. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to give him a little snow on the bottom. So, just like that. And then what I should have done before I put on all those things is I should have put him on the back of my real red. So we're just going to guesstimate here where this is going to go. And line that up. It's a thin one, so line it up there. And then I'm going to take my card front, which is the Seaside Spray, and it's a 5.5 by 8.5, of course, scored. And, oopsie, and put it on the top. So since we already put the 3-dimensional thing on here, we'll go ahead and guesstimate. And we'll put them right here. And that's it. Oh, actually, no, it's not it. I'm a liar. Even though we've used the shimmer white paper, I'm going to go over it again, all the snow part, with my Wink of Stella, the clear one. And go over all the blue, especially all the snow and the bodies. And it's, it's decapitated head. And just glitter them up a little bit more. Now I'm done. So this is Snowman Season and the Snowman Builder. And thank you for watching another video. And please subscribe and like. And I'll give you all the instructions. There's nothing to hide. And that's it. If you want to place an order, my address is right here. And the host code for October, I'll put it on my website. But if you have any questions, you can text me. You can Facebook me. All my stuff is on the YouTube channel. And I hope I get lots of likes so that I can come back and tell you everything how to do stuff. So thank you. Bye.